the Bucks win it, or did the Suns give it away?
Bucks won that game. The Bucks defended home court, and they won that game. By the way, Giannis, we talk about the back-to-back 40-point, 10, board games. That kind of double-double's only been done once before in finals history, and that's by Shaq, right? But how about this game? And it didn't even seem like a monster game for Giannis. You talked about the stats, Molly, but think of how many ways he contributed. The defensive play, right? So he's playing one of the greatest of all time. 26, 14 boards, 8 assists. He's getting his teammates involved. 3 steals and 2 blocks, and one of them was among the greatest of all time. Giants Daily, they're a good Twitter follow, had this on Giannis since Game 2 of the Nets series, okay? 41-13, 42-12, 33-9-11, 25-9-6, 34-12, 40-13, 30-17, 34-12, 34-12, 33-14. This is what he does.
Yeah.
So he showed up as Giannis, and he had to. Then what kind of help did he get? Middleton, we just went over that. I don't need to regurgitate it. It was amazing. Drew Holiday struggled offensively. You know what he didn't struggle doing? Defending Chris Paul. I mentioned it. Guys, larger guards can torch Drew Holiday. They've done it before. But you put Drew Holiday on a smaller guard, you can't do better than that. And Drew Holiday's not just a guy there to play defense. He can help your team offensively in a lot of ways, though he wasn't hitting shots last night. So Holiday's playing defense on Chris Paul. Middleton's going bananas when you need him, ending with 40 points. Giannis is doing his thing. Brook Lopez was getting in on it. Stephen A. That was a team effort. They held down the fort when they had to.
Well, I'm not going to say that Milwaukee didn't win it. I'm just going to focus on the Phoenix Suns. I'm going to focus on the Phoenix Suns for a couple of reasons. Number one, Devin Booker showed up last night in a very big way. But he's the first person that I've ever seen in the history of the NBA Finals that should have found out 4 times. Should have found out 4 times.
Diplomatic immunity.
Come on. He mugged Drew Holiday. That was a foul. That layup by Middleton should have been an and one. At least 2 other plays. He's the first dude in NBA history that I thought should have found out 4 times.
Even on the last play of the game, they kept him in the game.
4 times.
That's some good karma.
Definitely so. And I didn't mind it. It's like, listen, go ahead and take it away. Because, listen, if Devin Booker hadn't found himself, if he hadn't picked up that 5th foul, I believe the Phoenix Suns go home 3-1, and they're about to close this out on Friday. Devin Booker was absolutely unstoppable last night, except he picked up that 5th foul. And when he picked up that 5th foul and had to go to the bench, I forgot how much time was remaining, but it was around 6 minutes or whatever. That's when they made their comeback because they couldn't stop him. They had no answer for him. And inexplicably, Mike Budenholzer, yet again, I don't understand why he would not double just to get the ball out of Devin Booker's hands. He wouldn't do it. He would not do it. So I was just shocked by that. That's number one. Number 2, this kid right here, Cameron Johnson, got 28 points last night. Monty Williams, my coach of the year. Thibodeau was number 2. You got to get Cam Johnson more shots. He got 6 shots. This brother can play, y'all, and there's no nervousness whatsoever. This brother can shoot the rock. Get him in the game. I say give him more than 28 minutes. I'd say make sure you get him more than 6 shots in 28 minutes. Cam Johnson can ball. Ask Mike Wilbon how many. We up there sitting together, watching the games, Max, all series long. I was like, Cam Johnson. Get him the ball. This brother, he's athletic and he can shoot and ain't scared and wants the ball. He got to shoot more, number 2. And number 3, Chris Paul, he's not well. Something's not right. 15 turnovers in 3 games. Ladies and gentlemen, for anybody that thinks I'm giving Chris Paul a pass, I am not. Let me be very, very clear. Just use your common basketball sense. Chris Paul with 15 turnovers in 3 games.
He had COVID like a week ago.
I'm just saying, Chris Paul with 15 turnovers in 3 games. It does not happen. It does not happen. Something is wrong with Chris Paul. Now, I will say this to Chris Paul. You got to suck it up, baby. You got to summon whatever is in you because Chris Paul, that pivotal turnover with 32 seconds last night, sealed the deal. We get all of that. The point is, again, if you CP3, you might have lobbed it to DeAndre Ayton instead of Devin Booker doing that. But then again, knowing the personnel the way that you do, you might have made a different decision. The point that I'm making is CP3, you don't have to go out there and drop 40 the way that you did against the Clippers in the closeout Game 6. You don't even have to drop 30 like you did in Game 1. All you have to do is be a floor general, control the offense, and minimize the turnovers. The last couple of games in Milwaukee, CP3 has hurt the Phoenix Suns. He hasn't helped them. He's hurt them. And I believe it's because he's hurting but this is the NBA Finals. This is it. 36 years of age. This is it for you, bro. This is the time. You got to summon up whatever is inside of you to be that floor general. Because if Chris Paul's the floor general that he's supposed to be, Max, and Devin Booker plays the way that he played last night, Phoenix wins this series.
He will.
But you need both.
He
you
will.
need both.
It's a flu game type performance.
Let's
You
not
need
forget,
both
against
because of
Denver,
this game.
I want to respond to those points, 1, 2, 3. Let's start with Chris Paul. Against Denver, he played the best basketball of his career,
Yes.
and he's a first-ballot Hall of Famer. That's saying something. Then he gets COVID, then he comes back, and he's clearly not the same, right? And if that series would have ended, if Kawhi would have played and that would have ended, I don't know, in game 5 or 6, we would have said Chris Paul choked or he was dealing with something. But when it mattered most, he came through. I anticipate we're going to see the same thing here.
That's what I'm anticipating.
But time will tell. That's one.
But
Two,
I can't use COVID as an excuse, Max, when you came back after COVID and you still closed the Clippers out and you dropped 30-plus in game 1. I can't use it.
I imagine that takes everything in him to do that, you know, and then you got to go to the – we've seen what happened with Cam.
No, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
The next thing is Cam, speaking of Cam Johnson.
Okay.
Cam Johnson was the starter. He was supposed to be the starter. He and Mikal Bridges were like perfect 3-and-D guys. Apparently, and I wasn't watching his defense this closely, though I watched a lot of Suns this year, his defense was so bad they felt like they couldn't start him. I agree with you again, though. He's so athletic and shoots so well and isn't scared of the moment. You got to give him some burn, and they're giving him some burn like he is getting minutes.
But I'm talking shots.
Yeah. Give him the ball.
I'm talking shots.
And one of the things I love about him and Bridges is they can get their points in the flow of the game. They don't need the ball to be effective.
Let me interject real quick. With Cam Johnson, Max, the reason why I keep emphasizing it is because you're not even really calling plays for him other than sporadically every now and then, and he's still making shots. Imagine if he was allowed to catch a rhythm and he got more opportunities. I bet he can light it up. I believe in Cam Johnson. They better get him in. He needs to.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.